Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ALP1 podcast. I'm your host, Idonia Muse. Joining me is my co-host, Golden Sniper.
Hello.
What's up?
Uh,
Hello, hello.
the roof is up. The sky. If you're outside, or if you're a
Oh,
winter
yeah,
one and you
yeah.
live under a rock? I don't know. What's in
Yeah, like
Patrick
Patrick
Star's
Sarr,
rock?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
also my alcoholic content from last night.
Nice.
Maybe got a bit drunk.
Well, Golden, I can't even remember what episode number we're on now. I've lost track now at this point.
This is
All I
our
know, all I know is that we're doing the NACS driver ratings for the reverse Austrian Grand Prix.
right. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it wasn't the regular Austria race, it was the reverse
Because we're boring.
Austria race. Yeah, we're very special kind of racing league, you know?
We're
Yeah,
special
very
in one ways.
very special.
Mm.
So yeah, it was just a regular race weekend at the reverse layout for Austria that they just added into this game for the first time. And before we get into the ratings, Golden, overall, what were your thoughts on the track and the race?
Depending on what everyone else said, not depending, everyone said was shit. I didn't mind it at all. Probably because I practiced on it for once in my life. But yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Same, yeah, I actually didn't mind it.
Hmm.
I kind of figured I was gonna like it too anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and up to it because in any of like 5 lap lobbies or just messing around races I've done that track, I felt pretty good. Which is why it's hilarious that I ended up finishing lower at this track than I did at Jeddah, but that's how a cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yep.
But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining with what we got, so we'll get to that later on. But yeah, so there were 10 drivers. There's 10 drivers we got to do ratings for that were at this race. There were us, the 2 Alpines, the 2 McLarens, the 2 Ferraris, the 2 Williams, the 2 Williams of Kay and Alex, and the 2 Haas drivers, Hollywood and Jordan, who it was his first ever race in NACS.
Indeed.
There weren't any other drivers there. There weren't any Red Bulls or anything like that. It was just these 10 that showed up.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Starting off with the brand new driver to NACS, Jordan, who is driving with Hollywood in the Haas. I got it written down here. He only qualified 8th ahead of Hollywood and Sling, but he finished the race in 6th, which is a very interesting finish for his first race because he actually ended up finishing ahead of Kogo in his very first race. Which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. So, because of that, you could argue one lower. I have a feeling that's what you've probably gone for. But, you know, I'm always feeling generous, so I've personally decided to give Jordan a 7.
Ooh.
I've decided to give him a 7. It was his very first race. He outqualified his teammate, and it wasn't an easy race either. We had mixed conditions. It did rain in the second half of the race. It was mixed conditions, not the easiest to do in your first ever race, and it was a reverse track in his first ever race as well. And he ends up finishing ahead of the man who is probably, in terms of raw pace, the fastest driver in the league. Who just had a really off night. Who's had a lot of off nights recently, but this one was especially off for him. It was definitely one of his weakest drives this season, for sure. But I'm still going to give Jordan some credit for because as we're gonna get to his teammate in a second. His teammate did not finish the race, so for him to finish the race and finish P6, Just to give you an idea, in one race, he now has the same amount of points as Hollywood in one race.
All right, love that.
So good stuff to Jordan in his first race. So I've decided to give him a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, mate. Just sevens across the board, mate. Fucking slap me on there as well. Good. I didn't see too much of him, obviously, because for some reason our Alpine, decided to be a fucking rocket machine. I don't know if that even makes sense what I just said, but anyway, yeah, no, he did fucking good, to be honest. I didn't see too much of him, but from the standings, looks fucking lovely for him. So yeah, like you said, 7 is bloody good for his first race, and Hollywood, you have some stuff to learn from that man. Wink, wink.
Yeah, well, so 7's across the board for Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to Hollywood there now, who qualified ninth, just ahead of Sling, qualified his rival, we'll say. But he did not finish the race. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was pretty early in the race too. It was like in the first 5 or 6 laps, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That the incident happened where he messed up and he was trying to recover and he ended up getting into a collision with Slingshot. And then the game, I'm pretty sure the game disqualified him.
That dairy hates Sling.
Yeah. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've gone with a 1 out of 10 for Mr. Hollywood this week. You know, if there was something to write about.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologise for this technical difficulty here. Muse's internet has decided to be as useful as it should be shaken in the year 2047 against the Stone Age people, whatever the fuck. I don't know, I'm waffling. Basically, he said Hollywood's weekend was shit. Back to our radio scheduled program, proudly sponsored by your mum.
Anyway, and then, you know, when your rival, who also didn't have a great race, is who, like I said, we'll get to later on, you know, who got lapped twice. You know, he still finished the race though.
What the fuck?
So, you know, and especially coming off of the race that we just had last week, we just had Jeddah, which Hollywood honestly did pretty good at. He didn't do too bad at Jeddah,
except getting brained.
So we figured, okay, this is a lot simpler of a track, so he'll have an easier time. But no, yeah, things just didn't work out for him. So I've given him a 1. Kind of harsh. You could argue a 2. You could argue a 2 for sure. But I've gone with a 1 just because, yeah, there's really nothing to say. It's just, yeah, move on to the next race. Forget this one ever happened.
Fair. Again, like his teammates, we've agreed on the same thing. That is, not only the very first 1 out of 10s, but also the second 1 out of 10 we've slapped on this podcast back to back. So I think Hollywood would be maybe a little bit harsh on himself this week because I have no idea what the fuck happened with his DSQ. But yeah, just not his weekend from start to finish, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, thanks for bringing that up. By the way, keeping track on what, because I had no idea that was our first. I had no idea those were our first ones that we'd ever given someone. So
yeah, because we've given 2s. Yeah, we gave, funny enough, we gave 2 to Hollywood. I gave a 2 to Hollywood in Mexico, not Mexico. Where the fuck did I give him a 2?
Monaco.
I gave him a 2. I think I did give him a 2 in Monaco, but yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously, yeah, you know, if he had finished the race, his grade wouldn't have been anywhere near that if he'd finished the race.
Definitely not.
But
the fact he got DSQ'd is funny.
But yeah, so yeah, unfortunately for Hollywood, hopefully he does better at Baku, because that's the track we're doing next week, and you know, anything can happen there. Lots of people could crash out, and you know, himself and Jordan could pick up a lot of points. So
Dan, when you need him.
Well, okay, moving on to the next team pairing, which was the Williams which is K, Kogo Jr., and Kilo, aka Alex, aka Rabbit Mort,
Okay. Oh my God,
who
Alex.
who was racing in a different car. He was racing in the Racing Bulls for the first couple of races in the season, but now, with poor old Mr. Orange Juice being unable to race for a while due to his work schedule and commitments, Alex has decided to hop into the Williams to make sure that Kay has a teammate. So the two of them were driving, and the two were driving. The two of them were there the other night. That's what I was trying to say. Caleb wasn't alone this time. He had a teammate.
He had someone to say.
And we'll start with his teammate. We'll start with Alex, who, from what I can see here, qualified 7th, but unfortunately only finished the race in 8th. So, do you want me to go first on this one?
Yeah, fucking go on, Sunshine.
Okay, so I've gone straight down the middle for Alex. I've given him a 5 out of 10. Definitely a what if kind of race for him, because his race got kind of screwed from the beginning, because when a certain ALP1 driver decided to brake check
That wasn't a brake check.
half the grid.
No. No, I was being cautious because there was a fucktard Ferrari in front of me. Well, not in front of me. I was understeering and I broke to not fuck him over, and then in chance I almost fucked it. I fucked everyone over. Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah. So I had to slam my brakes, and then Grade Ace had to.
And this random Alpine. Fuck this guy.
Grade Ace had to slam on his brakes, which then caught Alex off guard. Which I don't blame him, because I almost got front wing damage as well. It was a tight reaction, definitely a tight reaction, and unfortunately Alex got a yellow front wing at the beginning of the race, but his pace was still strong even with the broken wing, and then he fixed the wing and his pace was still good, and it's like, oh, Alex is fighting for like P5, P4 right now. This is really good. This is like his best drive we've seen from him so far this season. And then the rain came, and for some reason his in-game race engineer told him to pit way earlier than he should have to the inners, and he ended up frying him, and because of that his tires were just gone, and he couldn't control the car. He was all over the place, and then that's when he lost those positions and dropped back to 8th by the end. But he did still finish the race. He still, suffered it out. He didn't rage quit or anything like that. He still suffered it out, finished the race, got across the line, and got some extra points for Williams. So that's why I've given him a 5 down the middle. It's still a race to forget, but it's just sad because it wonders like what could have been, if it had just been a regular dry race, and he, after he'd fixed his wing, what kind of pace could he have had at the end of the race? Would have been interesting to see, but it is what it is. Like I said, next week's Baku. It's a different track that Alex is a big fan of, so we'll see what he does there, I guess. So yeah, I've gone with a 5. What have you gone for, Alex?
I've again, something today is just going up in the air, mate. We just seem to agree with absolutely fucking everything. I've also gone for a 5. If you want what I want to say about that, just rewind about 20 seconds to when Musey started talking. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Not much else to say. I kind of went on a spiel there and said everything, but yeah, we're in it seems like we're in alignment today, but to be fair, I didn't find the ratings too hard for this week. I felt like they were pretty straightforward. And we kind of we've done it a few times now. We're getting it down.
Yeah, we know.
So moving on to the man himself, Kogo Jr., aka Caleb, who qualified second, just barely missed out on pole position. He was just a little bit off his old man. I think it was just like a couple hundredths or something. Off his old man's time. It was very close. But he started on the front row, and then his old man messed up. So it was basically a battle. For the first half of the race, it was a battle for the win between him and Pete, I would say. With you kind of getting in there with the two of them as well. But then the rain came, and he was just gone in the rain. He just wiped the floor with everyone. Similar to what he was doing at when it rained at Coda, very similar to that. And Kogo Jr. ended up getting his very first race win in NACS.
Whoa.
So good on him. So obviously, I've gone for a 10 out of 10.
You can't really go for anything else, can you?
No, I mean, it's his first race win. He qualified in the front row. He capitalized on his dad's mistakes, and he fought. And he had to fight tooth and nail for that too, because like you and Pete were keeping him honest, you know. So yeah, good on him for keeping himself in the standings. It seems ever since he had that really bad no assist race at Canada, he's just completely turned his season around. He's just been driving exceptionally ever since. Just getting constant points. He's put himself in contention for the title. He's only like 6 or 7 points off of Pete in the lead. So if he has a good Baku, you know, we could see Caleb possibly take lead of the championship. So good on him. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I'm assuming that's what you've gone for as well.
Mate, how can you fault the man when he gets his first fucking win? It has to be a fucking 10. If it's not a 10, you're a fucking you're just a negative Nancy, mate. You can't fault the dude. The cunt got his first win. He's been up and down a bit these last couple of weeks, but he's pulled his finger out of his ass. Capitalized on the shit show that happened in lap 1, even though he was technically a part of the shit show going wide, and also spinning. But yeah, no, he clawed back tooth and nail, said fuck you everyone else, I'm here to fight. Fuck. And he fucking showed it, man. Good on him. Good on him.
That's the other part of it that I forgot to mention, is that early on in the race, he actually messed up. Went in too deep on that one corner coming down the hill, and you know, fell behind me. Like he fell back to like 5th or 6th place. So, and then he still ended up working his way back through and winning the race. So yeah, major props to Kay for his first ever race win.
My brother from another mother.
In that Williams. Yeah, he's loving that Williams car. Yeah, that too. Also, since he's got out of the Aston Martin and went into the Williams, he's definitely been enjoying that car a lot more, it seems. For sure.
No Lynch.
But yeah, so those are the Williams guys. Next, we are on to the Ferraris, who had a very interesting weekend. Let's start with Slingshot.
Oh boy.
Who qualified 10th.
Oh.
So dead last. And he finished 9th. He was last of the finishers because, like I said, Hollywood didn't finish, so he was last. And on top of that, he got lapped 2 times by everyone. Because on the results screen it said +2 laps. So yeah. Sling was down 2 laps at the end of the race.
It was only down 2 to Cope, because it goes off the leaders, not everyone.
Okay. Well, I know that I also in P4 lapped him twice. So he got lapped twice by like the majority of people, I think.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, clearly wasn't a fan to begin with of this reverse layout. Definitely threw him for a loop for sure, especially since he races with no corner line. But at least he did finish the race. But Golden, he did. So his teammate was lapping him, and his teammate was telling him to get out of the way, get off the racing line, and he moved over to the left a little too late, just as his teammate was also moving to the left, and to go around him. and caused Pete to get front wing damage, which, considering how close you and him were at the end, I would say that wing damage probably cost Pete P2.
Definitely.
Definitely, because it was him and Kay fighting for the win in the draw, and then Kay got away in the wet. So like, I don't think he was winning the race anyway. But P2 was definitely on the grabs, up for grabs for Pete.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sling costing his own teammate 3 points in the championship, which again might not seem like a lot, but with how close the standings are right now, it is a lot. So yeah, I'll let you give your rating for Sling first. Let you have a turn.
Well, just despite what you've just said, I don't know how harsh you've been, but yeah, we know Sling. Like, I'm gonna keep saying this. Sling's not the best quality man. He knows it himself. He's just here for the vibes alone. Just a really unfortunate weekend for him. This entire weekend, start to finish. I will say something. I am giving a little bit of a clearance because he did also get caught up in that incident with Hollywood and Jordan. But yeah, apart from that, it's just been very very poor. I don't want to use that word because we love Sling here. But that was a poor weekend. I might be generous with my scoring, but I've gone for a 3 personally.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm.
That's totally fair. I've personally gone with a 2. And that's mainly because he finished the race.
Yep.
He at least finished the race, so I don't want to give him the same rating as Hollywood, who didn't finish the race.
Yeah.
So I've given Sling a 2. Like I said, if the thing with Pete hadn't happened, I probably would agree with you, and I probably would have given him a 3. But man, like you can't be doing that, man. Like if you're getting lapped, you got to get off the racing line. And what sucks is because he was getting lapped so much, you're constantly moving over for people, so you're also slowing down, so you're losing even more time to other people.
Yeah.
So what happens is you get caught in this train of just constantly having to like your race is basically over because you're just constantly having to move over people. Especially with how short that track is. Yeah, brutal. But like, of all people, like you cannot be, because it's bad enough to like impede someone with blue flags, but then to give your teammate wing damage when he's lapping you, oh my god, brutal.
There was definitely some ties in the VC afterwards, or at that moment, I should say. It was very.
What about the tires?
No, like the tires are a bit severed. Like between Pete and Sling, there was a bit of anger. I'm not saying the tires were severed, like how they say severed tires, like you're a bit.
Oh yes, ties. Sorry, I thought you were saying tires. You said ties.
Nah,
okay.
the Aussie accent, mate, you're fucked.
Yeah, ties. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, there was some. It got a little heated. For a bit. But Pete still leads the championship, which we'll get to Pete here now. But
yeah, not for long, I should say.
But it's not like he has a massive lead or anything. So
massive.
He could have used those 3 extra points. But
yep.
Anyways, on to Pete. We'll stop roasting Sling now.
Poor Sling.
We'll move on and hope for Sling that shit never happens again. Because if that was anyone but his teammate, he would have got penalty. Like they would have submitted that on him.
Yeah.
If that was anyone but his teammate. So yeah. On to Pete. Qualified third and finished third. I've personally gone for a 9 out of 10 for Pete the Newfie because he was fighting for the win the entire time. He had amazing pace in the dry, and then, as it was getting close to that crossover period, was when he got the damage from his. And once he came out, he just didn't quite have the pace in the rain to keep up with K because maybe if he was keeping up with K and like battling K to the end in the wet, caught up to him and all that, maybe I would have given him a 10, but but because of how the second half of the race went, I can't give him a 10. So and plus I don't think Pete thinks he deserves a 10 for that anyway.
Yeah.
Especially since he finished behind. He also lost because realistically he should have been able to work his way past you at the end.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to do that. So I think that also affects his rating for me. So that's also why I've got him. But it's still an amazing race for Pete. Like still showing that he is fighting for this championship tooth and nail. Not backing down, going side by side. You and him having some amazing side by side there on lap 1. Like he's fighting for this championship. He's not going to go down without a fight, and he's still the champion. He still pulled points on Kogo, who was his main rival coming into this race, was Kogo, and he pulled points on Kogo. He did the job he had to do. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Pete. Still a great drive from him.
Yeah, good drive from Mr. Petey Boy. Standard shit from him. Unfortunately, a little bit with the incident with Sling. I will just say something though. I feel like his pace in the wet was a little bit, what's the word? It was a little bit slower than what we expect from that man. I know he's got a lot more raw pace in himself. I did think the Sling thing may have affected him as well with that. And I may be a little bit harsh on my judgment. I've gone for an 8. Obviously, it's not a 10 because Kogo got it, and you can't give 2 fucking 10s out unless he was there. And he just wasn't after the whole Sling thing happened, which really cost him. But also, there's a guy in front of you, I'm not naming names, who's yeah, you can't beat out the second Alpine, Donny. What the fuck, Pete? I'm kidding. Yeah. There's just someone in front who so to me personally, if you finish P3, you'd have to absolutely like pull your guts out and everything to fight for that P3 again. Unfortunately, it kind of dropped off in the wet a little bit, and it. So
you personally don't think Pete should be losing to you?
No,
essentially is what
absolutely
no,
not, mate. I've seen that man.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
I know what he's capable of, and it just doesn't really. It's the 2 wet races we have. It just doesn't tell me he's got as much pace as we thought. I'm not trying to rip on the guy. Like we love him, but yeah, I just don't think wet's his strong suit. To be honest, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna rip on him anymore on a great result nonetheless. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it is a different game. It is a different game in the wet too, for sure. I'm sure he hasn't really been putting much time into the wet. With what time he does put in, I would say I'm sure it's proud of it too. But yeah, 8 and a 9 for Pete. That's fair. That's where I was debating between whether to go an 8 or a 9 as well for him. It's one of those two for sure. Still a great weekend from him though, regardless. Still got a podium.
Yeah.
Another podium this season. But yeah, another could have been his second win of the season, but it wasn't meant to be. So we'll see how he retaliates at Baku, because I know he's ready to retaliate at Baku,
rape everyone,
and make a statement. I think he really does need to make a statement at Baku for his championship. With the other tracks that are coming up, there's some tracks that are coming up that aren't in his favor, or they're not his strongest ones. So I think he really needs to make a statement at Baku. So it'll be interesting to see how the momentum shifts coming out of Azerbaijan. But anyway, topsy-turvy weekend for Ferrari. Still third in the Constructors. Now we'll move on to the team that's second in the Constructors at the moment. McLaren only lost even more points in the constructors to their rivals, the Alpines.
The Alpine.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, sorry.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, they lost more points to the constructors to us. So it wasn't a great weekend for the McLarens. Yeah, nothing to write home about. But we'll start off with Great Ace, who actually won last week's race at Jeddah. So Great Ace coming off of a dub, gets into this track. Qualified 6th, and he finished 5th. Now Great Ace did make I know for a fact he did have one big mistake that race because I saw him spun there.
Yeah.
Did you see him spun there too? Yeah, so
Yep.
he did make a big mistake that cost him some race time because maybe, if he had stayed more consistent during the race, because he was right behind me early on, so like maybe if he'd stayed more consistent, he could have fought me for P4, possibly got that position over me. Especially since me and him, both of us didn't have time penalties. So, but unfortunately, he made that big mistake, and then he tried to go really long on that first stint to try to push the tires to the wet, but him and his teammate just couldn't do that. It just wasn't feasible because the rain took forever to even begin, let alone time to swap over to the inners. So, yeah, that was never going to work, unfortunately, for him and his teammates, Kogo. But other than that, so it wasn't like an amazing week for Great Ace like last week's where we gave him a 10 out of 10, obviously. But I mean, he still outperformed his teammate though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like he finished 2 positions ahead of his teammate in P5. So I've gone with a 7 out of 10 for Great Ace. Still solid, but could have been a little better.
Yep.
Definitely had the potential for it to be an 8 or a 9 weekend for him, but it just wasn't because he made some mistakes. So
Yeah.
it's a 7 out of 10 for Great Ace from me.
See, personally, I feel like that's like in the hindsight of it, it was a one and only mistake, to be honest. But that mistake was costly as fuck, to be honest. It was that just took him completely out of podium contention, in my opinion. That spin he had, which was just he was doing good up until then, but then that just happened. So I've actually gone one lower, and I've gone for a 6 because I just like that completely. That one spin on his own, just yeah. I'm pinpointing it too much. I'm glazing. I'm bashing him down too much for one mistake, but yeah. I mean, it was good for him to claw back from it as well, getting to the top 5. But if that spin didn't happen, we're probably looking at a Great Ace podium from that.
Right, yeah, like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I guess I was just a little bit more lenient because of what the track was. The fact that it was a track that we'd never raced here before, and going into the weekend, he said himself that he was just trying to finish. Like he didn't feel very confident at this track. So, but like I said, I could give him any higher than a 7. And it probably lies more in the middle, like you said, like a 6.5 territory.
Yep.
Kind of dealy because, yeah, like I said, me and him, like we didn't have time penalties at the end. So, if Great Ace had gotten past me and he had, which.
Yet again, Muse's internet decided to be a bit shit. So, to reiterate what this man said before I really cut him off again, he basically said if Great Ace got past him later in the race, he would have given him probably a higher rating, but he didn't because he's shit. Anyway, now on to the next man, Mr. Kogo. And this Cosmos podcast is going back for the second time, proudly sponsored by your mum. Bosh!
He qualified pole position, but then he only finished the race in 7th. Unfortunately, there with behind, like I said earlier, behind Mr. Jordan, Uh, not a good look.
No.
No. So I've decided to give Kogue, but he still got pole position.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have been a little more harsh. Like I said, so I gave Great Ace a 7.
Yep.
So I personally gave Kogo a 6.
Mm.
If you gave him lower than that, I totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I am being too generous. But I gave him a 6 out of 10. Wasn't terrible, but like it. But it's one of those races that is good. He's gonna look back on. He's gonna look back and be like, "Wow, like that really affected my championship. That race."
Yeah.
You know. And unlike some of the other races that weren't like Jeddah last week, wasn't as much his fault. This week, he was having some issues with his stuff, but I mean, they weren't massive. Like this weekend was kind of his fault. For most of it.
Yeah.
I'd say he's like 75 to 80% to blame for it. So I still got to be harsh and give him a 6. Because like I said, he should have been fighting for the win. With how fast I've seen him be able to go around this track in practice, he should have been fighting for the win. He should have been gone. Right? But
Yeah.
it just didn't happen. He messed up on lap 1, and then it was a downward spiral from there. So yeah, I've got him a 6 out of 10 for Kogo. His championship starting to fall apart a little bit. He really needs to bounce back.
Yeah. See, I was really debating going lower on my rating, but I've actually given Great Ace and Kogue the same rating of a 6. And the reason I'm not going lower, and which is pretty much the only standout reason, is Kogue got pole. If Kogue didn't get pole, we're looking at a 5. But the reason, Kogue did have a really poor race, to be honest. And I probably should have gone lower now thinking of it, but I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going with a 6. So him and Ace do get the same rating, and which is weird because Great Ace finishes in front of Jordan. Yet in my mind, I've given Jordan a better score. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, but you're still right though.
Yeah.
Like it's different metrics for different people, right?
Yeah.
And it was Jordan's first race, so whereas Great Ace, he's been around a while. He
Yeah.
So that's fair, yeah. So you gave both the McLaren 6s. Fair enough. Understood. And then finally moving on to the Alpines.
Yay! My favorite part.
Yes.
Waffling.
And as always, we start off with Golden Sniper.
The number 1 driver now, mate. Get the fuck out of my seat.
Right. Qualified 4th. And finished P2, second place.
Yay!
Tied for your highest finishing position this season with your Monaco race, where you finished P2 behind Pete. Yep. This time you finished P2 behind Caleb. You also had to hold off Pete. We have to remember that you had to hold off first. You had to hold off Pete at the end
and the start.
And the start, like you were fighting tooth and nail the whole time. You had great pace pretty much the whole time. There were tricky conditions at the end that we had to navigate with when to pit. And I feel like you made the right call with that for yourself. I feel like you pitted the perfect time as well. And yeah, everything just kind of executed everything. I personally, like I said, think it was your best drive so far this season. Personally. Which is funny that earlier you said something along the lines of, "Oh, we can only give 110."
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that?
So I've actually gone with a 10.
Oh my god. Okay.
So I've actually gone with a 10 for you, because I feel like that was your best drive so far this season. Like, I feel like Monaco was kind of just, okay, don't get crashed out by these retards, and I'll finish in a good spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with this race, like, you had to hold your own. Like, you had to show your race pace the whole time, and you also outqualified me, your teammate. Now obviously we were close. Like, it wasn't by like a ton or anything, but like it's still you still outqualified your teammate. You finished 2 places ahead of your teammate. So I don't think there's literally nothing else you could have done, because like I said, I don't think with our circumstances in the wet, like, I don't think it would have been possible for you to catch. It was never going to be possible to catch K, I don't think. So, and you finished ahead of Pete. You also beat Pete, who, like you said yourself, by all rights you shouldn't be finishing ahead of, and you finished ahead of him. So I just personally think you did everything right. I don't think you put 1 foot wrong.
Except maybe.
I mean, you got that 1 free second time penalty, but the track limits were a little glitchy.
Yeah.
They were a little glitchy this week with people just getting penalties instantly and all this shit. So, so I'm a little more forgiving, and also like the free second didn't really matter in the end anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not really holding that against you. So yeah, I've gone with a 10 out of 10 for you, man. I don't think you could have done anything better than what you did. So 10 out of 10.
Oh, am I allowed to give myself a 10? My morals say no.
I think you're. I think you're totally. Bro, I gave myself a 10 at Canada. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know, but the way I see it is you get a 10 if you win. That's the way I see it with these ratings and stuff. And the max in my mind, the max in my mind I could give a P2 is 9. But fuck the feds. Fuck the feds. Fuck everything. 10s across the fucking board. Fuck you, great ass. I don't give a shit if you complain. I don't know why I called him out. It was someone.
Okay, well, I'm happy we're in agreement on that, because I agree. Like, I think we gave K a 10. It was his best drive of the season. And we've given you a 10 because it was your best drive of the season.
Does it beat Monaco? Does it beat Monaco with my race win though? Yes, maybe.
Maybe it's different circumstances. It might honestly be your best drive you've ever done in NACS. Period.
That's
honestly
crazy. That's mental.
Period. No, man. I just like, because it's different. It's not just the pace, but then it's also the racecraft. The racecraft and the battling that was shown was like exceptional as well, right? So, like the racing was just like the move on Pete on lap 1 was just incredible.
Well, you said they're making.
I had a front row seat.
Well, you said that. Sorry, I'm laughing too much. Fuck. Well, you said they're making a blue and pink car white or something.
Right.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Why the fuck am I laughing too much? Fuck's sake.
But yeah, enough glazing. So the final driver was myself, so I don't need to muse. But look here, qualified 5th and finished 4th. So I qualified just behind you, and then I finished the race. I believe it was like 1.1 or like 1.5 seconds behind Pete.
Yep.
At the end. Part of that is due to the fact that he had to fix his wing. I'm sure he lost several seconds because of that. But, yes. So I've given myself an 8 out of 10.
Yep.
For that drive, because I feel like it was still a great drive, but there was more on the table. Because I should have been, because if I'd been a little faster, I could have beat Pete. I could have got on the podium. If I'd just been a little bit faster every lap, I could have done it. And part of that, I think, does come down to the wet. I don't think I was as fast Similar to Pete, I also haven't been very good in the wet on this game. So I feel like that was definitely part of it as well. I saved some time. Now I was saving some time in the wet to him, but not enough to be able to catch him in time before the race ended. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But like I said, still a great drive, still P4 for the team. 12 points for myself and the drivers. So I keep myself competitive with you and Kogo Jr. and Pete and Kogo. So yeah, I think it's just another solid drive from myself. But I can't go any higher than an 8 because I was expecting myself to do a little better than what I did personally. I can't give myself any higher than an 8. That's that's 8. So especially since I also got outqualified by my teammate too, right? Like that's part of it as well. So yeah, 8 out of 10. And also keep in mind, I gave Pete a 9.
Yep.
I gave Pete a 9, so like I can't give myself the same rating as Pete.
Yep.
From that, like hell no. So yeah. What did you give your teammate?
Is there a gun to my head, or am I safe?
No, there's not. Did you give me a 7?
I did give you a 7. Like you said, there's a bit more on the table. You maybe could have done. You maybe could have gotten Pete. But nonetheless, it was a solid drive, man. Solid drive from you. Maybe if you got him Pete, it would have been an 8. But then again, we are both on controller, and everyone here is a Doritos munching, sweaty, no shower having wheel player. So yeah, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm bumping it up to an 8. Fuck Pete. I know he got an 8 because he couldn't beat. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what? Fuck it. Pete's getting a 7. I'm kidding. Yeah. Fuck these wheel bastards.
That's hilarious. Okay, I'll take it. 8's across the board.
Yeah.
For Sidonia Muse, I'll fucking take it. I totally understood your logic though, because like I said, I gave Pete a 9, so I gave myself an 8. But like you gave Pete an 8, so you gave me a 7.
Yeah.
Like I understand that logic completely, but
yeah.
But yeah, fuck him, I guess.
That's gonna be a new quote of the season. What was it? Oh, I fucking forgot it again already. It's the
whatever, we got it. It's
recording.
We got it anyway. It's all good.
We've just made it at 99% of the class server.
That's it. We did it. That's the 10 drivers.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels like we've been recording for a while, but again, that's also because we got the stuff at the beginning to cut out, and then we got the stuff
in the middle.
There in the middle to cut out.
Yep.
So that'll all get sorted. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Next time we'll be doing the driver ratings for race 9 of the season. I can't believe we're already almost halfway through the season. Crazy.
Stop it.
Yeah, next time we'll be doing the driver ratings for Baku, which should be that should be a pretty crazy race, I think, right, Golden? I mean, especially with how close the standings are. There's basically, well, Grade A said he's going to miss some races near the end of the season, so Grade A's technically right now is in contention, but he doesn't think he's going to be able to be in contention for like the end of the season. So there's 5 different drivers going into Baku. Like, we got 5 different drivers who could be leading the championship coming out of Baku.
Yeah.
Like, Pete's leading right now, but it might not be him after Baku. It might be someone else.
I wonder. Maybe a Williams.
So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been Sidonia Muse and Golden Sniper.
Yay.
ALP1 podcast. See you guys next time for Baku. Peace.
Toodaloo. Lewis Hamilton.